Hello, and welcome to day 6 of the StoWaStarMa video challenge, in which I try to make a new video every day for the month of January. For those of you who are just tuning in, StoWaStarMa stands for Stop Watching, Start Making. Okay, so today is day 6, and I am on video 6, so far so good. Today we're going to be talking about something that is a bit offensive for the animal lovers out there, so I am warning you right now. This, like yesterday's video, might not be for children, and it might not be for anybody who is sensitive to the mistreatment of animals. That having been said, I'm going to get started. Today we're going to be talking about a 17th century blood sport called fox tossing. It was one of the favorite activities of the idle-rich aristocracy at that time period. You may ask yourself, what is a blood sport? All right, blood sports are any sporting event that involves the killing of animals. This includes hunting, some forms of fishing, cockfighting, dogfighting, etc. Many of you may not consider those to be sports, and most of those nowadays are no longer considered sports. But in the past, there were different ideas about what was appropriate and what was not. So fox tossing, what is it exactly? Well, it's more or less what it sounds like. There is a little more to it. Teams would be made up of two people, and those two people would stand on either end of a long sling or blanket that would be laid on the ground. They would stand on either end of it. A fox or other animal would be released, and when it ran across their sling, they would lift up and launch it into the air. The person who launched their fox the highest was declared the winner of the event. This was popular because it was one of the few activities that single men and single women could participate in together. It was considered safe enough that women could participate, even though there was a fairly good chance that the startled animal might try to attack one of the participants. Additionally, which is also, by the way, why croquet became so popular, because it was something that single men and single women could do together without it looking bad to the society at large. They could spend time together, they could talk together, and not need a chaperone, and not have to worry about anybody getting the wrong idea about what was going on. Now, with the fox tossing, obviously when the animals would land, oftentimes they would not fare well. And so at many of these fox tossing events, the children would be allowed to club the foxes or other animals to death once they landed. The wounded, they would be allowed to club to death. Because, after all, fun for the whole family, right? So, this wasn't exactly an everyday activity, but it was one that was done at major events, banquets, masquerades. At the masquerade events, the participants would be in costume, and so would the animals, interestingly enough. The animals would be released, sometimes in their costumes, and they would run through an arena full of people holding their slings down on the ground, and when it ran across theirs, they tried to launch it before it got off of it. So it did require timing and practice and synchronization between partners. So there was some challenge to it. It wasn't just random cruelty. Honestly, I can sort of understand the appeal of this. Like, if you had an object that is moving erratically and quickly across, and you have to try and launch that object into the air, that sounds like a fun game. But the fact that in this instance the object happens to be a living creature kind of puts a wet blanket on the whole thing. You know, if they did the exact same thing and they were rolling a ball across and you tried to launch the ball when it rolled across your sling, that would be kind of cool. I think that would be a fun thing to do. But that's not what they did. They did living animals. At one point in time, the King of Poland hosted an event where 647 foxes, 533 hares, 34 badgers, and 21 wildcats were used to be tossed in the air and ultimately killed, all in one big fox tossing event. I have to say, again, you know, the sensibilities of other time periods are often puzzling to us. Again, I think this would be a very fun game if it were rolling a ball across instead of scaring a wild animal and then launching it in the air to its inevitable death. Anyway, so yesterday, I have to apologize. I forgot to pick from the hat before I ended the video, and then had to pick this out after I was reminded by one of my fiance, who happened to be the third person to watch the video. So today I am making sure that I am picking from the hat before I close the video. So here's the hat. Everything's got to be done with transparency. All right, picking a random slip, and I have the family dynamics of the Addams Family. This is actually combining two suggestions that were given to me. Both happen to be about the Addams Family, so yeah, this could be a fun one. All right, well, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, you know how YouTube works. And so have a nice day and stay spooky.